Got a bunch of Marines and mostly Marauders here. That'll work pretty well, although they need to be backed up by medevacs to heal them. A couple of SCVs coming down. So SirCharles has a lot of SCVs. Abandoning these minerals here, that's kind of an interesting choice. But CuePhoenix set up here at the Zelnaga Tower, just kind of hanging out. This command center almost built, chugging its way through. Looks like CuePhoenix was waiting for a medevac. That's kind of an interesting choice. Building the siege tank, a marine, a marauder, just a real skeleton force back here. Guess he's not expecting too much pressure. Both players not supply blocked, but you can see here CuePhoenix is building a lot of stuff, including a Banshee that should be coming over here shortly, and there she comes. Oh, his force is moving out, coming up to this north here, up near these vents here that provide some cover, but that's not going to matter. These two opponents see each other, these two armies, two medevacs up here, and here comes the battle. Let's see if the siege tanks siege up, and they do. This is going to be a problem for all of these Marauders who take extra damage from these siege tanks. Oh, here they come in for the stim. Let's pop on the hit point tab and see how they're doing. All these Marauders are in the orange, and CuePhoenix looks like he's thinning these guys out. A real surprise here, and look at that supply count matching. SirCharles has been pushed back down in supply, and CuePhoenix has a little stronghold here with these three tanks, and SirCharles really needs to stay away from these tanks. These Marauders need to get healed up. These medevacs are kind of low on energy. He needs to wait here. Has upgraded his expansion to a planetary fortress to try to hold these attacking forces out. 3 medevacs, 2 Vikings. Looks like CuePhoenix has air superiority. Got a planetary fortress in the north position for SirCharles, but I think he may have lost his advantage here. CuePhoenix now ahead on supply in a surprise move. SirCharles building a bunch of Marines. But at this point, CuePhoenix is setting up base here, right outside of the expansion. These tanks have a pretty long range. SirCharles trying to skirt around the top here. CuePhoenix bringing in a Hellion to do some harassing, get these guys moving around. But they've got a little bit of space here on that entry ramp into the main where they can move around. But CuePhoenix continuing to just send units directly over. Another Banshee. And looks like he's doing some slight movement of some tanks to press his advantage. He really believes he's behind, and he is correct. He is behind. Tanks sieging up, trying to get a little bit closer to this base. Oh, and these guys trying to move in, but that's not a good idea with all of these tanks. CuePhoenix trying to use these units and his air units to maximize the range of his tanks. But yeah, with those 2 Vikings and now a Banshee over here and some missile turrets of all things, SirCharles really needs to stay away. His group is small, very few ground units, just a couple of medevacs. He needs to really back off here. And you can see SirCharles, both players are not macroing to their maximum capability. We have an empty production tab and lots of minerals, lots of gas. That a lot of those encounters looks like they were slowing things down. SirCharles is racing ahead here with a bunch of SCVs. He's got 3 bases running now. His income must be insane, and it is over double CuePhoenix's income, and his gas is slightly behind. Here comes CuePhoenix with a forward tank here in range of this planetary. He can just sit there and shell that planetary till it goes away, unless SirCharles decides to repair it. Planetary's got some pretty good armor there, but CuePhoenix still slightly ahead on the supply. Let's check the army count here. If you look here, whoa, CuePhoenix almost double the army supply of SirCharles. SirCharles double the worker supply. But those workers aren't going to matter very much unless SirCharles can make an army to beat back this force. He's got a small force here trying to stim and come in. That's a very bad idea to stim into tanks. And it looks like this planetary is gone. Not sure why SirCharles didn't try to repair that, but you know, I guess he's got SCVs to spare. SCVs on fire from those siege tanks. SCVs coming back into the main. I guess he's got some minerals back here to mine, and another starport. Could be building some things, or a Banshee or something, but not building very much. You look here over at the production tab, and both players are not macroing very well. CuePhoenix looks like he's trying to advance a little bit further, trying to slowly snail his siege tanks across the map. Doesn't even know, I think, about this expansion up here, but not sure that it matters if he keeps putting pressure over here on SirCharles' main. With this expansion gone, SirCharles, he's got tons of money though. He really should be pumping out stuff out of every single one of these barracks. He's got a couple of siege tanks up, which is good, making use of this factory. Not doing any upgrades out of his engineering bay at all. And CuePhoenix, I believe his upgrades finished a while ago, but SirCharles doing a drop here with some Marines trying to take out CuePhoenix's one expansion. CuePhoenix with no army in his base. He's got lots of production, but no army. Lifting up that command center. Is it gonna survive? It's getting pretty close. It's on fire. And SirCharles is trying to come up to the ramp. He could elevate her up with this medevac, but CuePhoenix makes some guys, and he comes up to the main in a counterattack, trying to draw SirCharles' attention away. SirCharles paying attention over here to his attack. CuePhoenix paying attention over here to his attack. SirCharles with a lot of money, not making anything. Looks like he's making a Banshee over here and trying to get Cloak out, but that's not going to come out fast enough for this. And SirCharles, GG's, continues his losing streak, and CuePhoenix ends his losing streak with a win. TvT breaking also his TvT losing streak. So that's a good game, and my latest cast for my Starcraft blog, Starcraft ad at blogspot.blogspot.com, and we'll see you guys next time.